Yo guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another FPL video on the channel. And in today's video we're going to be looking at my updated FPL team for game week 1, and yes, it does include Erling Haaland. So we are wasting no more time and we are getting straight into it, and starting off with the defense. In goal, we've of course got Miguel from Nottingham Forest, and then the back three is going to be Gvardiol, Mykolenko and Saliba. Now I want to start off by talking about why I've gone for Miguel. This is Nottingham Forest's new signing, right? It costs 4.5 million, and I do really like him as an option because Nottingham Forest have some of the best fixtures to start the season. All right, they've got some really nice fixtures which do include playing the likes of Bournemouth at home, Southampton away, Wolves at home. So some really nice fixtures there, all the way up until about game week 10, 11, 12, even 13. As a whole, the fixtures are really nice. And Nottingham Forest defensively were actually really good last season in terms of their defensive numbers and their defensive statistics. In terms of like expected goals conceded, they actually put up some really good numbers. And the one area which they suffered in was actually set pieces. Now this is where this new signing Miguel comes in. All right, they've signed him a new goalkeeper. He's 6'8", guys, so surely they're signing him to stop the amount of goals conceded from set pieces. So if this does happen and Miguel is the starter, which is looking like it's going to happen, all right, it does look like he's going to be the starter, then I think Miguel could be a great option because, you know, like I said, the defensive numbers for Forest were really good, and then obviously he's 6'8", so you'd assume that he'd be good at dealing from, you know, your corners, your free kicks and set pieces. So that's why I do like Miguel as an option, and like I said, ultimately the fixtures are really good for Nottingham Forest. So I've gone for Gvardiol because I really do like him as an option. Of course, he gives you that Man City defensive coverage. We know that Man City are one of the best teams in the league. They've got really nice fixtures to start the season. Their first 5 games are pretty good. Yes, I know he's got Chelsea in game week 1 where, you know, you could argue he's probably not going to get a clean sheet in that fixture, but then after that is Ipswich at home, West Ham away, Brentford at home. These are games where Gvardiol can get a clean sheet in. But not only that, he's got really good attacking potential. I mean, he showed that last season, all right? He did bag quite a few goals towards the end of last season. He was getting into really attacking positions, and he's essentially playing as a left winger, guys. He's essentially playing as a left winger. If you look at the heat maps, if you actually just look and watch Manchester City when they play, you'll see that he's holding that width and he's staying out wide, high and wide though, very high and wide. So getting into really good attacking areas, putting crosses in the box, getting shots off. So I do like Gvardiol because it gives you that Man City defensive coverage, but also that really nice attacking threat. So I think at 6 million he's a really good option. So you guys can see that I've also gone for Mykolenko as my 4.5 defender, and that's because I've partnered him up with Robinson from Fulham. And the reason why I've done this is because Everton and Fulham really do have a nice rotation. As you guys can see by this graphic, if you rotate some Everton and Fulham defenders, you get some good favorable home fixtures where you'd probably expect them to get a clean sheet. So as you guys can see, you'd be playing Brighton at home, Leicester at home, Bournemouth at home, West Ham at home and Newcastle at home in the first few game weeks. So you guys can see the Everton and Fulham rotation does work pretty well. So that's why I've gone for Mykolenko, and that's why I've gone for Robinson as well as my other 4.5 defender. And yes, I know that Fulham have signed Ryan Sessegnon, but I don't really think that's going to affect Robinson's minutes. I mean, Robinson had a fantastic season last season, one of the best left backs in the league. He played well, so I really cannot see him. I can't really see him getting dropped for Sessegnon. I really don't think that's going to happen. And then I've gone for Saliba purely because Arsenal last season were the best defensive team in the league, and I want a piece of that. All right, I want to have a defender from the best team in the league, so I've gone for Saliba. It's looking like he's the most nailed on defender right now. I mean, Gabriel's looking a bit risky with the signing of Calafiori, and then Ben White's even a bit risky himself because of the Timber, you know, because of Timber recovering from his injury. So I think Saliba's the most nailed on to start from the Arsenal defense. Obviously, yes, there is the option of Raya, but I prefer Saliba and a 4.5 goalkeeper instead. So yes, now some people may say, why have I gone for Saliba? The fixtures from a defensive point of view for Arsenal aren't great, but I'm in a situation where I can bench him for his most difficult games against Spurs away in game week 4 and then Man City away in game week 5, because I've got Barker on the bench who has in game week 4 Ipswich at home, and in game week 5 Nottingham Forest at home. I can bench Saliba in 4 and 5 for Barker, so that's why I do like Saliba. Arsenal have a great defense, man, and because I'm in a position where I can bench him for the tough games, I think it makes sense to just start with him. So moving on into midfield, we do have Cole Palmer, Bukayo Saka, Hudson-Odoi and Dominic Szoboszlai. Now, you guys will notice there is no Mohamed Salah in this draft, but I'm going to speak about that in a second. The first player I want to speak about is Dominic Szoboszlai. Now, I've gone for him because I feel like this could this pick has potential, in my opinion. Onslaught has said that he has got, obviously we know that Liverpool do play a 4-2-3-1 formation, right? And Onslaught has confirmed that he wants Dominic Szoboszlai to be playing in that number 10 position. It's something we've even seen in pre-season as well. You know, we saw that Szoboszlai did score. He was playing in that number 10 position. So if he can get really good minutes every game, like if he can start games and he's getting 80 to 90 minutes, then I think Szoboszlai is a really good pick to start the season with. I mean, the fixtures for Liverpool are absolutely amazing. Ipswich away in game week 1, Brentford at home in game week 2. Yes, a fixture against Man United away from home in game week 3, but then after that it's Nottingham Forest at home, Bournemouth at home, Wolves away, Palace away. So some really good fixtures where Liverpool can score a lot of goals, and that's why I've gone for Szoboszlai. Like I mentioned before, you guys will see there is no Salah in this midfield, so I feel like Szoboszlai does give me that really nice Liverpool coverage, man. I will honestly not mind it at all if Szoboszlai is playing just behind the number 10, because that means he's going to be getting into really good goal scoring positions. So, and that's what I want for a midfielder from Liverpool that's starting week in week out at 6.5 million behind the striker. Hey, listen mate, I'll take it. I'll take it any day of the week. So you guys will notice I've gone for Palmer and Saka as my 2 premium midfielders. Now, that means obviously I can't have Salah, and to get Salah in, I'll show you guys what I could possibly do later on in this video. But for now, we're going to speak about Palmer and Saka. I've gone for these two because firstly, with Palmer, I do love the fixtures that Chelsea have. Yes, it's a difficult fixture against Manchester City in the first game, but after that, the fixtures are absolutely amazing. All right, Wolves away, Palace at home, Bournemouth away, West Ham at home, Brighton at home, Forest at home. Guys, the fixtures are really nice. So I do like Palmer. He was obviously the highest scoring FPL midfielder last season. He's on penalties. We know he starts week in, week out. We know he plays pretty much 90 minutes week in, week out. So that's why I do like Palmer. He's pretty reliable, and when I watched Chelsea play, when I did watch Chelsea play last season, everything was going through Cole Palmer. He was at the centre of everything. He was at the heart of everything. Yes, there is Christopher Nkunku at 6.5. You could argue that Nkunku being in the side might take away that responsibility from Palmer, and maybe he won't get as many goal contributions. But at the end of the day, we just don't know at this moment in time. If anything, Nkunku could actually make Palmer a better option because he's playing with better players. But yeah, I really do like Palmer as a pick, and that's why I've gone for him, man. But just the reliable nature that he has as an FPL option is really nice. So I do like him. And Bukayo Saka as well. Again, some may argue the fixtures aren't great for Arsenal, but in my opinion, I think they're good enough from an attacking point of view as well. Yeah, they're really nice. Obviously, Wolves at home. Yes, Villa away in game week 2 is pretty tough, but it's definitely a fixture where he can score or assist in. And then you look at the Brighton at home game as well. That's a very nice fixture. Again, Spurs away. It's a North London derby. That game is always full of goals, all right? Saka can definitely score against Spurs, home or away. So I don't look at that fixture and think, oh, Saka can't really score. I mean, he's shown it in previous seasons. It's a fixture where he definitely can score in. And then, yes, Man City in game week 5 is tough. But then after that City game, it's 3 very nice fixtures. So I really do like the Saka pick. And again, he's on penalties. Arteta literally plays this man all the time, rarely gets subbed off. So again, it's that reliable nature of Saka as an FPL pick, which I do like about him. So that's why I've gone for him, man. And again, he showed what he can do last season, getting loads of goals, loads of assists. So yeah, I really do like Saka as an option. Now, quickly before I move on to Hudson-Odoi, I've got so many things racing through my mind at the moment, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit stressed out, right? Because FPL have done a really good job of the pricing. It's making things really difficult. Heung-min Son is someone I wanted to quickly talk about. He's definitely someone I've considered. He's very low owned at the moment. At the time of recording, he's currently 9.7% owned. So yeah, very low ownership, and he's got potential. Son is the most clinical finisher in this league. All right, the stats prove it. If you watch him, it also proves it. You know, Son is insanely clinical. We know that he's a goal scorer, and the fixtures to start the season for Tottenham are okay. Leicester away in game week 1, Everton at home in game week 2, but then it's Newcastle away and Arsenal at home in game weeks 3 and 4. So the fixtures are all right, but I think Son has really good potential. But at the moment, I'm just favouring Saka and Palmer. But Son is on my mind for sure. I just wanted to let you guys know that Son is on my mind. Yeah, decisions have to be made, guys. All right, I'm not gonna lie, decisions have to be made. Now, since we're on the topic of premium midfielders, I feel like now is the best time to talk about Mohamed Salah and where we could possibly fit him in. So if you guys just follow me quickly, so I'm gonna go to my transfers. So yeah, currently we've got Palmer and Saka in. Now, to fit Salah in, we're going to have to take 2 of these guys out, and it's not something I necessarily want to do, but it's something I'm going to have to do if I want to put Salah in this draft. So we've got Salah in there. That leaves us with 8 million at the moment. Now, one could argue, I think Gordon at 7.5 is a great pick for Newcastle, because Newcastle have some really nice fixtures. Gordon was good last season, so that's an option there. That also does leave me with a budget of 0.5. So with that extra money, I could possibly take out either Gavardia or Saliba. Let's just say for this example, I don't know who I would do, but just for the sake of the video, I don't want to spend too much time waffling. So just for this example, guys, let's just say it's Gavardia we take out, right? For Trent Alexander-Arnold at 7 mil. So then we need to find 0.5 from somewhere. Now, I'm looking at one of these 2 4.5s. Again, let's just say for this example, we take out, let's just say Mikalenko, because I prefer Robinson's fixtures after the Man United game. So for this example, let's just say we take him out for a 4 million defender. That could be Wout Faes, it could be Harwood-Bellis. It could be, there's a lot of people it could be. But for this example, let's say it's Taylor Harwood-Bellis. So there you go, guys. You can see we've got the funds, and we've taken out Palmer, Saka, Gavardia, and Mikalenko for Trent, Gordon, Salah, and Harwood-Bellis. So that's an option that I could do, and then my team would look like that. So essentially, it's, do I go for left or right? Do I go for Mikalenko, Gavardia, Saka, and Palmer? Or do I go for Gordon, Salah, Trent, and Harwood-Bellis? Harwood-Bellis would obviously go on the bench. Trent would be starting all the games. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's definitely something to consider, because like I said, the fixtures for Liverpool are really good. So essentially with this team, I'd just be attacking the good fixtures that Liverpool have with Trent, Szoboszlai, Salah. And then even Gordon in there as well. You know, the fixtures for Newcastle are really good. So I'd be attacking their good fixtures as well. So it's definitely something I could do. It's definitely something to consider. Let me know though in the comments. What do you guys prefer? The left option with Palmer, Saka, Gavardia, or the right option with Alexander-Arnold, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Salah, and Gordon? What do you guys think is better? Let me know. And then we've gone for Hudson-Odoi midfield, because I really do love the fixtures that Nottingham Forest do have. I think he's a really good cheap enabler at 5.5 million to start the season with. And yes, there is Morgan Gibbs-White at 6.5 million, but I just simply do not have the funds to get someone like Morgan Gibbs-White. I would love to get him because he does take penalties and all set pieces for Forest. He plays 90 minutes. He starts every game. There's a lot of positives there for Morgan Gibbs-White, but unfortunately I just can't afford him. But I still do like Hudson-Odoi as an option, as a cheap 5.5 enabler. I think he can get the job done. Last season he outperformed his XG massively. All right, he had an XG of around 2.65, and he scored 8 goals last season. So if he can keep that clinical finishing up into the start of this season, then yeah, I'll happily take that. But I think as a cheap enabler, I think Hudson-Odoi is a really good option. So of course, in the forward positions, we've got the main man Erling Haaland in there, Alexander Isak as well, and Chris Wood. So we're going to start off talking about the main man Erling Haaland. The main debate, the main talking point. Do we go for this man? Is he worth that 15 million? And at the start, I was thinking, no, he's not worth it. And there's still a bit of doubt in me, I'm not going to lie. But at the moment, I feel like I'm 60-40 in favour of going with Haaland, right? The tides have turned. The tables have turned. I'm in favour of Haaland at the moment. I just feel like starting without Haaland is absolutely insanity, especially when you look at the fact that Foden probably is going to miss the first couple of game weeks. He probably won't be starting. I'd be very shocked if he does. I think Haaland is, you know, with the fixtures that Man City do have, Ipswich at home in game week 2, even the Chelsea fixture in game week 1, I don't even think it's that hard of a fixture for Haaland to score in. I mean, Chelsea in pre-season defensively have been shocking, and Haaland can definitely, in my opinion, score against Chelsea. He could even score a brace. He could score a hat-trick for all we know. I just think that it's a bit risky going without Haaland to start the season. For me, I prefer to start with Haaland, and if I feel like he's not delivering the goods, I'll happily get rid of him. I think that's my plan at the moment. Obviously, we know Haaland is a proven goal scorer in this Premier League. We know that he's going to score goals. We know that he's going to get us FPL points. We know that he's a reliable captain option. But again, people just, I guess, don't know if he's worth that 15 million. And again, I've got doubts in my mind about whether he's worth that much, but I think I don't want to take that risk to start the season with. I'd rather have him because, again, I love the fixtures that Man City do have to start the season. So that's just my opinion on Haaland. For me, I'd rather start with him, and if it doesn't go well, I'd rather get rid. Maybe I could even wildcard him out. But also, one thing I quickly want to point out, guys, is if you don't start with Haaland, Imagine, I'm going to paint this scene. And again, I don't want to waffle too much. I don't want this video to be too long. But I'm going to paint this scene. Imagine Haaland scores 1 or 2 goals against Chelsea. He could definitely score a hat-trick against Ipswich. Imagine if he goes up in price, guys. You're essentially, that's 0.5 extra it's going to cost you, because if he goes up 0.1, you're going to have to now downgrade someone by 0.5 in your team to find that 0.1 to be able to buy Haaland. So again, essentially that if Haaland goes up just to 15.1, that's going to essentially cost you 15.5. So for me, yeah, I think it's just a much safer option to start with Haaland, and we're going to leave it at that. That's my opinion at the moment. But yeah, Alexander Isak now, let's move on to him. I think he is one of the most essential players to start the season with, and that's why I've gone for him. Honestly, I think he's going to be my captain in game week 1 as well. The fixtures are really, really good for Newcastle. Once again, Alexander Isak, a proven goal scorer in this league, man. He can get goals, and at the moment, it's looking like Callum Wilson, I think he's going to be back up to Isak, man. I don't think he's going to be a threat to Isak's minutes. Isak is also going to be on the penalties as well. So I think there's just so many positives with going with Isak, and yeah, for me, absolutely essential, and I most definitely will be going with Alexander Isak to start the season with. He's been in every single draft I've made, and he's not going to leave. I can tell you that for free. And like I said, most likely going to be my captain for game week 1. And then of course we've got Chris Wood in there as well, and Chris Wood, I love as an option. Like I said, I love the fixtures that Nottingham Forest do have, and Wood has shown last season, you know, that he can get you goals. I want to point out though, Chris Wood could also become Rodrigo Muniz, and it's something I am considering. I don't know if I want to go double Nottingham Forest in the attack. I really do love the fixtures that Fulham have as well, so possibly, potentially, Wood could be coming out maybe in game weeks 1 or 2 for someone like Rodrigo Muniz. It's just really annoying that Muniz does have that Man United fixture in game week 1, because I feel like if he had a better fixture in game week 1, I'd probably go for him instead. But I still love Wood as an option. Don't get it twisted. I really, really do love Wood as an option. I'm just not sure if I want that double Nottingham Forest, and I also do want to cover Fulham's attack because they really do have some nice fixtures in there. But yeah, we've gone for Chris Wood. I love him as an option. It's between him and Muniz for that 6 million forward spot. But that's going to be it really for today's draft video. Yeah, my game week 1 Haaland draft, man. Honestly, I actually do like it. I like it a lot. Obviously, there's no Salah in there. There's no Son in there, but we can't have everyone. But yeah, man, I really do like this draft. I'm going to leave it at that. Let me know down below, guys, what you think of my draft. Are you liking it? For me, I actually look at it as a pretty strong Haaland draft. Honestly, I like it. I do like it. And even the option where we consider getting Salah in there, I like that route as well. So yeah, a lot of positives to take from this draft in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down below. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you guys do smash a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.